Hello guys, you're welcome to Graphic Design Bootcamp by Tech Anchor, where creativity finds direction. Subscribe now and let's dive in. So let's get started. Once again, you're welcome to Graphic Design Bootcamp by Tech Anchor. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. I had a setback. My hard disk crashed, so I lost the videos I recorded for this class. The videos I recorded, edited, I lost everything, even the guidelines, all the guides you are supposed to use for this class. I lost everything. So I was so discouraged. I had to give it a break. It took time for me to start recording these videos again and prepare the guides again. So it took time. So that's why I said that we are going to be posting two videos every week. But since that happened, so I had to give it a break. That's why it's been long since I posted the last video, and we are just getting started again. We are back again, and hopefully there will be no setback. We are going to run very smoothly. So so far we've done we are still on getting started with graphic design. So we've done software to be used, explaining dialog box, unit, conversion, reduction, increment. So now what we are going to look at now is understanding file formats: PSD, JPEG, PNG, PDF, and saving and exporting files. So that's what we'll be looking at today. So now, before I start, we have PSD, PNG, PDF, JPEG. So now, when we are talking, that's what we call file extension. That's what we call file extension. So now when we are talking about file extension, every file has an extension, like the file format. For instance, we have MP3. When we are talking of audio, we are talking of MP3. We have MP4, which is video. So we have MP3, we have MP4. So now this one is for audio and this one is for video. For example, let's say a video like which video am I going to use? Okay, let me say the matrix. The matrix. You now see dot MP4. So now this dot MP4 is the file extension for it. Once you see something like this, the matrix.mp4, you know that this is a video. This file is video. So another one now is you can have something like let's look for mp3. What's the name of the music? Which music are we going to think of now? Let's just say praise God dot mp3. So now this dot mp3 now is for what? This is for audio, like music file. So that is what file extension is all about. File format. So that's what we are looking at today, understanding file format. So now Photoshop, as we have a Photoshop file, editable file for Photoshop, which is PSD. We have PNG. This one is for picture. We have both PNG and JPEG for picture, and we have PDF. I think PDF very common. So now the Photoshop software we are using, we have so many file extensions, so many formats, but we'll be looking at this in four. They are very important. So we're looking at these four and you'll be making use of them. So you will need, when you are designing, you always save that design, which you can come back and edit later. So you save it as PSD. You have to save a file as PNG, JPEG, PDF, as the case may be. So let's look at it. So now launch my Photoshop. Okay, let me create a new document. So now I have this. Okay, let me do a very simple design. I'll just do something simple to illustrate what I want to do now. I'll now call this okay, let me use sign up. So I have a very simple stuff like this. So I have this is a very simple design. So this is a very simple, let's say, sign up button. So I want to save this. So let me just save it. I will explain to you better. So let me just save it. I will call this sign up BTN. This BTN stands for button. So I will just save it. Okay, what I've just done now is, okay, let me close this. Let's come to our bootcamp listing. So this is a file I just saved, sign up BTN. So now this is a PSD. This is how a PSD file look like. You can see PSD. This is how a PSD file look like. You can see the icon. So once you see a file like this, know that this is a Photoshop file. CorelDRAW has its own. I think the extension for CorelDRAW is CDR. So all these tools, Illustrator has its own. There's the one for Illustrator is AI, and we have EPS too. So all these softwares, they have their own file extension. So once you see something like this icon, this is for Photoshop. You can see this PDF. So now if I overrun this, if I should look at the details, you will see type of file. They are saying Adobe Photoshop image dot 20. You can see now into bracket dot PSD. You can see if I look at this one too, you can see into bracket dot PDF. So now this particular file, why you always need to save your work as a PSD file, is because you have a need to make an adjustment to edit that particular, let's just say for example, you have a need to edit that particular project you are working on, that design. So let's just say for example now, maybe I designed this for someone, the person is now saying, I don't like the color of this shape, change it to something else. Now I want to change it to, let's say, let me use, okay, let me use this color, or let's use something like this. So okay, change it to something like this. It looks somehow to me, but you can use it depending on the design you are working with. So let's just say, so this is, I can easily edit it because I have a PSD file of this design. So I can make adjustment to it. I can change the color of this one. I can decide to change the color to anything, to something. Okay, let's just say, so I can design, I can do anything to it because it's a PSD file. But if it is a once I save this as JPEG or PNG, PDF, I cannot edit it again. So let's do that. So now what I've just, okay, before I do that, let's look at what we have. Understanding file format. So with this explanation now, I've been able to explain some file formats. We have PSD, PNG, PDF, JPEG. I also talk about the popular ones you use a lot like MP3, MP4. You play music. If you look at if you have any music in your phone or computer now, just check the name of that music, check the properties. You see something like .mp3 for music, then for videos you see .mp4. So the same thing applies to picture, PDF, and your Photoshop design file. So all of them, they have extension. All files have extension. So now I've explained that. So now let's see how it works. Let's see how you can save. So now saving and exporting files. So let's see how you can save files using this format. So let's start with PSD. Like I said, okay, I have this. To save a file on Photoshop, what you're going to do is you come to File. If the first time you are saving that file, you come to Save As. You will now give it a name. Okay, let me call this. I've already saved this file, but let me give it another name. 2. I will click. So now look at this, Save As Type. If you click this drop down, you have so many options here. This one now stands for PSD. This is for Photoshop file. You can see so many of them. So we will just look at the popular ones we are going to make use of. So now I'm going to save this because this is a Photoshop file which I can edit in the future. So I will save it using this one, PSD, PDD, PSDT. So pick this one and I'll say save. Let me close this. If I come here, I have 2 files. This is the first one I saved. This is the second one I saved. If I open this first one, you still notice that that first design we had is still there for us. You can see now. So now if you open the second one, the new one we save. So you can see this. Okay, let me close one. Okay, I like this one, so let me close this one. Let's make use of this. So now that's how to save your file as PSD file. That is Photoshop file, which you can edit later, make adjustment to it, can edit in the future. So now another one is, I think I should bring this up. Should bring this, okay, should bring this up. So another one now is JPEG. JPEG means picture. Let's come here. Let's look at this picture. If I click on, you can see type of file, JPG. You can see .jpg. So you can always see .jpg or .jpeg. So once you see .jpg, know that that stands for picture. So now let's save this as picture. All you have to do is to come to File, Save As. Now we are going to change this. You no longer use this PSD, PDD, PSDT. So now we change it to, you make use of this one, JPG, JPEG, JPG, JPEG, JPE. So this is the one you always make use of, not these ones. Always make use of this one. So I will pick this. If you notice now, I now have this. This is what I have. So I will save it. You leave it as maximum, make it maximum, then quality 12. So it's okay that way. So I've saved that. So let's go back. This is a design I made. So now I'll save this as a picture. You can see this. So now this one now, if you right click, you will see .jpg. Like this design now, I can't edit it. Even if I want to, now this is a picture. Even if I open it on Photoshop, I can drag it. I can take it to my Photoshop. This is a JPEG. You see now I can't do anything. I can't change the write up, I can't change the color because this is a JPEG file, not a PSD file. So it cannot be edited. Now this is our I can save. Another one I can do now is I can save it as PNG. If you click here, you see PNG. So I can save it as PNG. But this is not a better way to illustrate PNG. I'll come to that. So now this one now is a JPG and this one now is a PNG. You can right click, you see PNG.png. But I have to explain this PNG and JPEG better. So I will explain it using this picture. So now what I'm going to do now, you might not understand, but as we proceed with this class, we are coming to that. So you understand better when we get there. So I'm not going to explain what I'm doing right now. But what I'm doing right now is just removing background from this picture. So now I'm going to save this as PNG and JPG. So I will save it as PNG. Let me put it here. You always choose your file location, please, when you are saving. So you can choose your file desktop. You can always choose your file location. So me, I want to save it into this folder, graphic design bootcamp. So I will choose that one. Okay, let me call this img png. Okay, let me just name this one like that. So let me save it as JPEG too. I'll save it as, so I'll still use the same location. I will call this one img JPEG. So I'll save it as JPEG. So let's look at it. I will use here to illustrate what I've just done. So now this is a PNG, right? PNG means that maybe you always use you have a design you want to do. So you remove the If you have a picture you want to use on that design and you don't want that picture to have background, once you remove that background, it's advisable to save that picture as PNG. Now if I drag this into the design we are working with, notice you can see this. Let me just place it somewhere like this. Okay, let me do something. Let me shift this one a bit. Let me have something like this. So you can see something like this. Understand? There's no background. Now let me turn this off. So let me bring another one. The one as the JPEG. Okay. Let me give this a background color so that you can see what we are doing. Okay, you can see now. So I have to illustrate this again. First, let me bring the PNG. So this is a PNG. You can see now. So let me bring the JPEG. My mouse is double pressing on its own, so I think by next time it's giving me issues now. So now you can see the same. This is a picture I save as PNG and JPEG. You can see now the one of JPEG. Okay, this is a PNG. I didn't drop the JPEG. So you can see now the one of JPEG comes with background. In as much as from here I've removed the background for this and I save it as JPEG, so it automatically gives it a background. So JPEG will always have a background, but if you have a picture that you remove, this is the original picture. This is the original picture. So I remove this background. So I just need the subject, which is the lady here. I remove the background. But you notice that JPEG still comes without background. So JPEGs always have a background, but when you talk of PNG, once you remove a background for a picture, it's advisable you save it as PNG so that you won't see any background. So you can make use of it in your design. So as we proceed, we are going to make use of picture like this, a PNG picture in our design. So I also teach you how to remove background from pictures. There's many ways to do that. So we'll look at that. So now this is it. So talk about understanding file formats, saving and exporting files. So the last one now will be, let me save this as okay. I'm going to close this. I will not. Let me open that design again. Okay, this one. So now I'll close this. We are done. So I will save this as PDF. If you click the drop down, so just look for PDF. So this is it, Photoshop PDF. So I will save this as Photoshop PDF. We say save. So now this is a design I just save as PDF. You can see now. If I click on this, it will show me that design, that simple design I made. So what I want to illustrate here is that after saving your file as PDF, look at what we have now. Look at the first one. This one we save this one as PNG JPEG. We save this as PNG and we save this as PDF. If you click on this, see the same design. Now let's look at this. This PNG now, the size is 72 kilobyte. Oh, this JPEG, this this JPEG, the size is 72.6 kilobyte. Look at this one, 23 kilobyte. But now look at the PDF, you have 195 kilobyte. So now the PDF now is more kind of like, the quality is higher than this one. As a designer, at times when you've made a design, you want to send it for printing. Most printers will ask you to send that design as PDF so that the quality will be high, because at times it depends on the machine they are going to use. Most machines now, if you send it as JPEG, they will print it out very well. Most of my files I sent as JPEG and they print it out very well for me. But there are some machines that the printer might ask you to send it as PDF so that the quality will be much higher. So that is how to save your file as PDF and send it. So we've talked about PSD, JPEG, PNG, PDF, and any other thing, any other file format you can think of. So that is how. So understanding file formats, saving and exporting files. So the saving and exporting files means the process of us saving our files as PNG, PSD, JPEG, as the case may be. So that is it about this getting started with graphic design. Like the topic, this is the first topic, getting started with graphic design. So we've done with the most important stage of using Photoshop. You need this. This is a foundation you need to build on. So if you don't understand what we've just done, or if you just come across this video, go through the previous videos we've done. We have a video like creating new document part 1 and part 2. Go through those videos. So this is just the last part of this getting started with graphic design, the foundation, the very, very important basics you need to know. So going forward, we'll now be looking at understanding the Photoshop interface, layers, colors, shapes, and we'll start making some simple designs and we will proceed from there. So thank you for watching. See you when I upload the next video. Cheers.